not wrestle men! I am gonna sue you, Lawler! I am a national TV star!
Number 10, Ashton Kutcher, Jobs.
We're talking about the future. We're working in a market that doesn't even exist yet. What Intel has done for the microprocessor, we're going to do for the home computer.
When preparing for the role of Steve Jobs, Ashton Kutcher definitely did his homework. He did extensive research into the character and mannerisms of the tech mogul, as well as read the books Jobs preferred and studied the artists he admired. This is all normal, but Kutcher took it one step too far when he went on Jobs' diet for a while. Jobs had adopted a fruitarian diet and mostly lived on grapes, popcorn, and carrot juice. The radical change in Kutcher's diet landed him in the emergency room twice with pancreatitis.
I was like doubled over in pain, and my pancreas levels were completely out of whack, which was really terrifying, considering everything.
Kutcher's wife Mila Kunis was vocal on his method acting woes, calling his dietary changes dumb, citing his only grapes diet as the worst. Unfortunately, his efforts only yielded a mediocre project.
What are we gonna do now?
We're gonna put a dent in the universe.
Number 9, Rooney Mara, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
I like working with you.
I like working with you too.
Certain actors have come to be known as chameleons, and Rooney Mara definitely showed her changeable side in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. The character of Lisbeth Salander is basically a goth punk eccentric, and described in the books as looking like a 14-year-old boy. Mara, in one day, had her hair cut off and dyed black, bleached her eyebrows, and got multiple piercings, despite not even having pierced ears at the start. She also lost some weight shockingly.
How exactly was she killed?
Miss
Salander.
Sorry, Miss Salander. I hope you don't mind me asking, but when was the last time you ate?
The drastic makeover wasn't the only thing Mara did for the role. During filming, she withstood a multitude of bruises and minor injuries to maintain a realistic performance, particularly in the infamous assault scene.
You do something for me, I do something for you. It's what normal people do.
Number 8, Dustin Hoffman, Kramer vs. Kramer.
I want my son.
You can't have them.
Don't get defensive.
Some actors have a long-running reputation as being particularly difficult to work with. One such actor is Dustin Hoffman, and confirmed stories from his time filming Kramer vs. Kramer with Meryl Streep pretty much say it all. The film depicts a bitter custody battle between a divorced couple.
Billy has a home with me. I've made it the best I could. It's not perfect. I'm not a perfect parent.
It's arguable in this situation that Hoffman is just an unpleasant fellow, but method acting must have had something to do with it, right? Hoffman treated Streep terribly, insulting her, teased her about her recently deceased boyfriend, and once actually slapped her in the face when he was meant to fake it. He also berated her performance at times.
All is forgiven, and I really, really love him, and I think he's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
But boy, I was mad that day.
I bet you were.
Whether it was method or not, the two have not worked together since.
Where are you going? Come on, just tell me what I did. That's all. Just tell me what I did that's so terrible.
Number 7, Shia LaBeouf, Fury.
Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?"
It's not news that Shia LaBeouf is an interesting character. There are stories from a number of the sets he's frequented, but let's stick to one. On the set of David Ayer's Fury, LaBeouf exhibited some odd behaviors.
Stop, Brady! Why does that bother you so much?
Stop, fool! I'll shoot you! I'll shoot you, I swear!
Knock off the horseplay.
What's more, these odd behaviors didn't really jive with his on-screen character. We'll call it method acting anyway. He had a tooth removed by a shady dentist, completely neglected his personal hygiene, fought the cast, and according to fellow actor Logan Lerman, approached him in a hallway with a "check this out" and cut his own face to produce a real scar.
Is this the gash you gave yourself for this role?
Yeah.
That is a commitment right there.
His character was a calm, Bible-quoting man. There was a method to his madness, perhaps?
I said, "Here am I." Send me.
Number 6, Halle Berry, Jungle Fever.
I want y'all to meet my new woman, Viv. That's short for Vivian. She good people. I like her.
The 1991 Spike Lee film Jungle Fever was Halle Berry's first movie role, and she set out to prove herself as an actor. In what she called her attempt at method acting, Berry prepared for her performance as a crack-smoking lady of the night by not bathing for at least 2 weeks. Though she claims none of her co-stars mentioned her odorous nature, she did notice them all start to keep their distances. Her efforts didn't go unnoticed, and the role actually launched her career.
I really got to shed my physical self, that beauty pageant image.
Berry wanted to transition from the beauty pageant circuit to the screen, and becoming the polar opposite of a beauty queen is what did the trick.
Get off
$5, Daddy. Come
Get off
$5.
of me.
$5.
Get away from me.
All right, $3.
Number 5, Jamie Dornan, The Fall.
Thank you for walking me home.
It must be difficult for actors to really get a feel for playing serial killers. Some read books, some watch documentaries. Jamie Dornan decided to stalk someone while researching for The Fall. While riding the train, Dornan decided to get off a few stops earlier and follow a woman for a few blocks. Though it felt wrong, Dornan claims he did learn something, as he was entering into something he'd never experienced before.
It's my mother's hair. It's all I have of her.
It smells fresh.
I wash it sometimes.
Dornan said, quote, "It felt kind of exciting in a really sort of dirty way. Though in the end this is harmless, it is a risky thing to do. Thankfully, Dornan didn't take it too far, and presumably Dornan's prey didn't even notice."
I have that vest, and I can't wear that vest now. That same hoodie you go running around town in, I have.
Number 4, Choi Min-sik, Old Boy.
이제 잘라도 될까요?
We've seen all kinds of method acting, including self-injury, self-mutilation, and just plain annoying everyone around. However, this one involves eating something live.
가끔 채팅하는 사람이야. 스시이기도 하고.
Choi Min-sik, for his role as Ode-soo in Old Boy, did a few things, such as training for 6 weeks, losing a substantial amount of weight, actually burning himself with a hot wire to maintain realism. But for a particular scene in the film, Min-sik agreed to eat a live octopus despite being a Buddhist and a vegetarian. They did the take 4 times with 4 octopuses.
먹고 싶다고 했다.
네. 오랜만이시네요.
Min-sik prayed and apologized to every creature he consumed. Maybe the inspiration for Timothy? Number 3, Dennis Hopper, Apocalypse Now.
They think you've come to take him away, and I hope that isn't true.
Take who away?
Him! Colonel Kurtz.
There are numerous stories from the set of this classic, and so many are shocking that it's easy for some of them to get buried. Did you know, for example, that there was an actual shady issue with the use of real human bodies?
Well, I have some other shocking news to tell you. Colonel Kurtz was about to be arrested for murder.
Well, that's a story for another time. Dennis Hopper played an unstable photojournalist, for which he put his own personal emphasis on the unstable part. It's said that when asked what he needed to perform the role by director Francis Ford Coppola, Hopper answered that he required cocaine.
I was not in the greatest of shape, as far as my career was concerned. When I was delightful to hear that I was going to go do anything, anywhere.
The production actually provided, and Hopper was thus under the influence of the white stuff for the filming. He's also said to have not showered for the entirety of the shoot.
Aren't you curious about that? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Are you curious?
Number 2, Jim Carrey, Man on the Moon.
Andy, this is every comedian's dream.
Comedian, George. And sitcoms are the lowest form of entertainment. I mean, it's just stupid jokes and canned laughter.
The production of the Andy Kaufman biopic, Man on the Moon, has been called, quote, a cautionary tale about the inconveniences of method acting. Jim Carrey's behavior on and off set during the production has been called crazy. Before he even started filming, Carrey claimed Andy Kaufman's spirit showed up and took over his body. Not metaphorically.
I think that Andy had trouble early on, which is very, very hard. Jim had trouble later on, and it kind of threw him for a loop.
He embodied Kaufman and the latter's alter ego Tony Clifton constantly. Carrey drove with a paper bag over his head for some reason and crashed into a wall.
This is the production trailer. Huh? This is the production trailer. Production trailer? What are you looking for?
Well, that was a making trailer.
Oh, no.
He spoke to the late Kaufman's family in character. He smoked and drank heavily, and inexplicably brought the Hells Angels to set and offered them craft table goods. The list actually goes on if you want to look it up.
I'm gonna quit.
What?
Every show is worse than the last one.
40 million people are watching your ass every week, Hoffman.
What do they know?
Number 1, Jared Leto, Suicide Squad.
So what are we doing? Bring the car around. We're going for a drive.
We've all heard of this one. Among the main reasons that it's in first place is that all of Leto's odd behaviors did not even pay off in the end, as Suicide Squad was not well received, nor was his performance. Honestly, the on-set stories sound just obnoxious.
Karen, his laugh really bothered you.
Yeah, well, whenever I met Jared, he never broke character. So I would say, hi, I'm Karen Fukuhara, nice to meet you, I'm Katana. And then he would come at me with, hi, pretty.
Jared Leto didn't say a word to Will Smith outside of the script for the entirety of filming, to maintain his character's thought process. He sent a live rat to Margot Robbie, who was playing Harley Quinn.
Would you die for me?
Yes.
That's too easy. Would you live for me?
He sent the cast a dead pig as a gift, which he had brought in by a hired goon. He also sent a variety of adult toys to cast members, including used condoms. Honestly, all of this sounds unbearable, and no laughing matter. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.